Here we have it, guys. The final is set. It's going to be Spain versus England. Today, England beat the Netherlands, and it was a okay game to say. It was not as exciting as yesterday's game between France and Spain, but it was good overall. England won at the last possible minute with Ollie Watkins scoring a pretty good goal, and he pointed out to Gareth Southgate why he should be trusted more, but nonetheless, he played very, very well. Regarding my fantasy team, today was not a good day for it. Pickford is the only guy that went up from yesterday's guy. Gakpo, Van Dijk, Bellingham, Saka, all of them did nothing. De Vrij and Gay, okay, 3 points, but still it's not enough for the what I was expecting. Harry Kane won and scored a penalty, so I think that it's good when a forward gets the penalty and then scores it to get both of the bonuses because he's the guy doing the work, not like with FPL rules where it's counted as assist. But if the penalty taker and the guy that won the penalty are the same person, the points are just gone this way. 2 points, regardless if it's scored, if it's not, it's something an action that they did, and it is all right. But yeah, I got the wrong way around. Instead of having Simmons and Kane, I owned, for example, Gakpo and Bellingham. So it was one or the other, but it was always going to be Gakpo and Bellingham by the display of Harry Kane in the quarterfinal and by the Simmons display in the quarterfinal. I was not pretty convinced that they need to be in my lineup, so that's why they were left out of it. About the captaincy, today I didn't have a right choice. Yesterday Yamal would have been the ideal option, Olmo, Mbappe, all of them. But if it was Olmo and Mbappe, I was re-rolling the captaincy either way. So yeah, it was going to be 2 points nonetheless from Bellingham. Yellow card for him, yellow card for Saka, yellow card from Van Dijk. So today, instead of getting any returns, I got 3 yellow cards and players that didn't score anything. But we take the points that we can and we continue with 38 points. That was by far my worst week, but it is expected as the matches become less and less. So the people that can get points are becoming less and less. And yeah, it's just the essence of the game. And I feel positive that I got the points in around the match day 3 and round of 16 and match day 2. Basically, when it mattered the most, I got the points, and now I'm going to try and maintain the top 10k finish. I don't know yet where I'm going to finish, but we'll see about it tomorrow. Honestly, that rank is by far the best thing that I've done in the fantasy games. I was expecting a top 100k finish, and I'm in the top 10k at the moment. I'm aiming to finish there, so let's try and stay on it in the final. The Man of the Match award went to Ollie Watkins because of his goal at the end, so no points are going to be added here to anyone. So yeah, I am finishing up the week on 38 unless something else happens and someone from the defense loses a ball recovery or something like that. Now we're going to go and show to you the best transfer targets. I believe that's why you're here in the video, to see the transfer targets that I'm going to be looking at to take into my site and add them to the squad. So let's go to the making transfers and make transfers. So at the end, it is going to be England versus Spain, as already mentioned. So I am not going to discuss any of the players. I'm not going to do any transfers today. The transfers are going to be done on the deadline stream. I will be there. So if you want, you can tune in. We're going to have a lot of fun. Then we're going to do a watch party for the game between Spain and England, because why the hell not? And we're going to talk about football and everything and see if we made the right decisions. Now let's go through the Spanish players one by one, and we're going to discuss their appeal for the final. So for me, the lineup for Spain is going to, let's start with the goalkeeper. So the goalkeeper is going to be Unai Simon. I believe I will be sticking with Pickford. I know that Spain has the higher chance of doing something, but I just don't like how Unai Simon is playing, and I don't like how he's saving the shots. And I believe that Pickford will have save points. Maybe Spain can keep a clean sheet, but with the fast players that England own in their lineup, I believe that on the counter they can get Spain. But even if they don't, I believe that I will be not going for Unai Simon. But yeah, he is in the transfer list for sure. Going into the defensive department, it's Dani Carvajal who is at the top of my list. He has defensive returns, he has attacking returns, and he has a goal potential from those corner kicks. So he's going to be a player that I will be bringing in. Next up, the center back that I will be looking at is going to be Aymeric Laporte. For me, he is a great guy and a great player with a lot of potential, and he is making a lot of ball recoveries. And I believe against England, there will be a similar game compared to the Germany one, because Germany and England play not similarly, but close enough. And I believe that holding GMs from Spain will be good, but we'll get to that in a minute. And the other guy that I will be targeting is Marco Correa. Again, ball recoveries, slight goal chance contribution. So maybe it's going to be Cucurella and Carvajal for me into the lineup instead of the French boys and the Dutch boys, but we'll see when we get to the transfers into the next days and when we talk about the best possible team that we can get. Nonetheless, I believe that Correa and Carvajal and Laporte are the three guys you should be looking at defensively. Going into the midfield department, I here see a lot of potential. Dani Olmo, let's start with him. He's the most expensive guy and he has missed basically 2 games and he's with 34 points. He has been amazing and I believe that I can be relying on him, and he's most probably even an option for captaincy. He's scoring goals, he's making assists, he's playing well. He got a man of the match already. So, all in all, a perfect performance by him. Nick Williams is another guy that I will be targeting and will most probably remain to the squad. He's so dangerous on that left wing, and together with Yamal, we'll talk about Yamal in a minute. I think that he is a great option. Pedri is out, and the other two boys are the more holding players, specifically Rodri. I believe Rodri is a great shout out for a holding DM. I believe that something similar to the Germany game will happen, and he will have around 15 ball recoveries because England are progressing the ball a lot similarly to Germany, in my opinion, not compared to France, who are mostly on the wings because the midfield is was only disruptive. I believe here Roder is going to have a great appeal, so I will be owning him. And the last guy here that I would like to mention is Fabian Ruiz. For me, he has a great potential, but against the better teams, he's playing a little bit more defensively. So having that in mind, I will want to rely on Rodri. And going into the forward position, it's going to be Yamal for me. He finally has scored. He already had several assists. Now with a goal, he will be exciting. He will be attacking Luke Shaw or Trippier. I don't know exactly who, but still he is going to cause a lot of issues. And those cutting sides and left foot shots are going to be a danger to everyone that faces them. So I believe that Yamal is a good player to own as well. Morata is another player that I would like to mention, but since the first game he hasn't performed very well, and that's why I'm not really considering him. I prefer to play with 5 midfielders. Now, going into the English sides, we're going to start with the goalkeeper position here. And for me, going for Pickford is an okay option. I know that they haven't kept a clean sheet in a while, and he hasn't made a lot of saves, to be fair. So maybe it's tricky to go for Pickford unless you expect the teams to finish 1-1 or 2-1 to Spain or to England or something like that. If both teams are scoring, I believe Pickford is the better keeper. But if you want to bet on a clean sheet, I believe you should go for Simon. So yeah, that's what the appeal for Pickford is. Next up is the defensive department. Kyle Walker is a great shout out. Today he had an assist, which was a slight offside, and that's why he's only with 2 points. But he has been attacking regularly, and he will be needed to face Nick Williams for sure. Maybe Nick Williams is not an ideal player to own right now against Kyle Walker because Kyle Walker manages to pickpockets everyone that plays on the left. Gakpo, for example, today didn't have a lot of shots or something like that. So yeah, Kyle Walker is playing in a really good position. So he's a okay shout out. Next up, we have John Stones as a player. A lot of ball recoveries his way, so he's a great sport as well. But for me, the best guy here to own is Margay. He is only 12% owned. I don't know how he is so low owned, but he has been performing really well. 3 ball recoveries today as well. And I believe against Spain, his um, service will be required. Luke Shaw is an interesting shout out going from the bench. Basically, he's getting a lot of ball recoveries, as you can see, even though he's playing only in around the 40 minutes. If he starts on Sunday, he will be an interesting player to discuss. So we will monitor it and we will see it. We have 5 free transfers and we have 9 players, no, 8 players into the team. So we have 2 extra transfers, basically even to rotate internally some players. Going into midfield for England, there it becomes a little bit interesting. So Bellingham for me is a good shout out. He can deliver 1 point or 12 points, nothing in between. That's too funny, but yeah. Foden, I'm too disappointed in him. He almost scored the goal, the ball goal cleared from the goal line, but still he hasn't made a return, I believe. Yes, he doesn't have an attacking return, so I would put him at the bottom of my transfer list. Saka scored a goal, but it was offside from Walker. Yellow card, only 2 ball recoveries. He didn't fit too well in the game like he did against Switzerland, but maybe against Spain on the counter he will be a great shout out, and he's the attacker I'm most excited to own from the English team. And the last player here that I want to discuss is Declan Rice. Once again, another stale 4-point performance. I was expecting that for him. I was just betting on having more points from attacking returns from my midfielders. So yeah, 4 points was the aim that I was expecting Rice to get to. And if you want to own the holding GMs, I believe he's a great option and you can go for him. In attack, we already discussed Yamal, and the other forward that I will own is Harry Kane. He got 8 points penalty, goal scored and minutes played. Only 8 points, I know, but he has already scored his third goal. I believe that is second penalty so far in the tournament. So here against Slovakia, no. And against Denmark, was it a penalty? No, I don't believe it was a penalty. I'm not sure, but still, it doesn't matter. He played not very well compared to last tournaments, but he's still their top scorer now with 3 goals, and he will be aiming for the golden boot. So for sure, I will be taking him into the squad. Oli Watkins, Bowen, and Tony. I'm not too interested in owning them because they won't get the regular minutes that we deserve. So those are the transfer targets that I wanted to mention to you. So we have our 15 to 17 players of pool to fit in 11 players. Basically, my midfield, I believe, is set. I am not doing anything there. I will expect goals and goals from both sides. Honestly, I will be relying on that. In defense, we have to do some changes, but I'm in a little bit of doubt. Should I bring 2 Spanish defenders or English and Spanish? Most probably it's going to be Spanish, and it's going to be Laporte and Carvajal, or Carvajal and Cucurella. Most probably Carvajal and Cucurella. Shaw is an interesting player to own, but I don't believe England are keeping a clean sheet, so adding a third defender not an option. I will consider up until the end. Should I bring in Unai Simon or should I stick with Pickford? I do not expect England to keep a clean sheet, so I may go for Simon and just be done with it. So yeah, Mbappe out for sure, and the expensive defenders are going to go. The midfield is remaining the same. I have the budget, so it's nothing too worrying. I wanted to thank you all for the support, even when I'm recording in a ropey um, place. Basically, it's not my original setup. I'm with the headset and headset mic, which is not ideal for you. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you like it. I hope to see you tomorrow when I'm going to prepare basically a limitless best team, wildcard team, however you want to call it. So we'll create the best team possible, in my opinion, and how I see the team should look. Then in the next day is my team selection video, and then it's the deadline chips and the deadline stream, and that will be the wrap for the Euros game. FPL is coming soon. Prices are going to be shown today, so stay tuned for that. I will be most probably making a short about it to discuss some of the prices and to see my initial reaction on them, or I can make a short video here. I'm not exactly sure, but I will think about it and I will do it. So be prepared for even more content from me. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're having a good time. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.